So let's do a guide to dark romance.
Don't you wanna have fun? Fool around with someone?
I think it's time that I stop leading you all on, I stop teasing, and I just give you what you all have been asking for, a beginner's guide to dark romance. Literally, we have the ultimate guide here. We are going from, let's just ease you into it, to full on dark. I've had several people ask me for a guide to dark romance. It is one of my most requested videos because I do read so much dark romance. How do you know what is too much and what is not too much? And my answer for that is, it depends on who you are and what you're comfortable with. It always varies. And it also varies on if you want to start with dark or if you want to start with taboo, because, you know, those are two completely different things. So if you're kind of thinking you want to go with taboo, I do have a video for that. Go ahead and check the link in my description. But today we're going to be talking about dark romance and how to just ease yourself into it. I'll say this video is happening because it was requested by my member Morgan. She requested this and taboo, and she also requested a video with the difference between the two of them. So some of these books are ones that I've recommended before. Some of these are not all my favorite books either, but some of them fit really well with me thinking they're beginner level books, and I think you all would like them. So let's hop on into it. First up, let's talk about a series that I talk about all the time. And this book specifically deals with coercion, and that's why I thought it would be perfect for a dark romance video, because what's happening in dark romance? You get these two characters who are not necessarily comfortable in the position they're in, but they're kind of just shit out of luck and they don't have a choice in the matter. The Filthy Rich American series is by Nikki Sloan. The first book is The Initiation. I might have just butchered that title. I'm not 100% sure. But we have our main character whose name is Marist. Marist is a part of this family, and they live in this society where essentially there is a hierarchy. There are these people who are essentially over everything and they make a lot of decisions, and her sister is supposed to marry this guy that she really is into. They have an arranged marriage. However, her sister gets into a sticky situation that causes her to not be able to fulfill this arranged marriage, so Marist has to step up and take her place in that. This series is not consensual in a lot of ways because she is essentially having her hand tied behind her back throughout the entirety of the series, so she can continue to protect her family and she can continue to have a normal life. So essentially it's a, if you don't do this, you are essentially saying fuck you to your family. There's a lot of coercion in here because Marist is not necessarily happy with a lot of the things happening in here, but she is not exactly forced. Like, she is not forced to do it, but she essentially has no other option but to do it. So if you're looking for something where you are going to be a little uncomfortable because of maybe a lack of consent, but it's not full non-con, she is acknowledging she is giving consent of this thing, this could be a place for you to really start and kind of dip your toe in with that kind of trope, because there is a lot of non-con, a lot of dub-con, and things like that within the dark romance space. We also have Run Posey Run. This is one that I didn't love as much as everyone else did. Do I see why everyone loves it? Yes, I see why everyone else loves it. However, I was in a really weird reading space when I read this. I was in a weird reading slump, and it just did not hit me the way that it hits everyone else. I did not find it as enjoyable as everyone else did, so it just didn't work for me in the same way that I would have hoped that it would have. But essentially in this one, we have a girl who is with this guy who has no feelings, and he thinks that she cheats on him with this other guy. There's a sex tape, but the sex tape is from years ago. He kicks her out of his house. He then comes to the realization that he fucked up, and it's his mission to get her back. So he goes out trying to get her. He hunts her down, he kidnaps her, and eventually, you know, brings her back to his facility and forces her to fall in love with him. So he essentially threatens to kill her, kicks her out of his house, and then hunts her down and forces her to come back and live with him again and marry him. It is a lot of things. It has a very compelling story, so this is something I definitely think is perfect for someone looking to get into dark romance, because this one doesn't go as hard as you would think. I know that with the plot summary and like the things within this, you'd think, oh shit, this is gonna be like super dark, and it's not. It's really not as dark as you will think that it actually is, because this one is like kind of light, in my opinion. Not like light, but like for a kidnapping story, for a forced marriage kind of situation, it works, and it's not as dark as it seems. We have Predator by Liz Meldon. This one is a dark paranormal. Now, specifically, this one is a demon romance with dark themes. Is this one specifically super dark? Is this one like super dark? Not exactly. Is this one kind of like barely even touching the surface of dark? Yes, I feel like this is going to be like your easiest entry point because it's more paranormal with just some darker undertones underneath of it. I feel like this is something where you're going to jump in. You're going to feel the little bit more of a darker atmosphere, a little more gritty, a little more kind of pushing the boundaries, but it's not enough to actually make you feel like, oh, this is a dark romance, you know? I feel like this is one where it's like you have darker themes, you have the darker feeling, not necessarily all of the dark content, but just a sprinkle to kind of get you started. This one is about a sex demon. I'm not telling you anything else. It's about a sex demon. Go read it. Would it be a video for me if I didn't tell you about 2 gay books? Because hello, entire personality is being gay. Hi. I've accepted it. I love it. It is my new favorite thing in the whole world. So here's a book I've recommended about 5 million times. It is Don't Tell Me No. This one is by Honey Chanel. This one is not that dark. When I say this is a great point for you to start in, I'm really saying that because we start with coercion. We have a captor-captive situation. She is forced into the situation because her husband is an idiot. I've literally said this before. I think I just recommended this in my Forbidden Romance recommendations. Her husband's an idiot. I don't know how else to tell you all that, but men are stupid. You all can't tell me I'm wrong when I tell you what this man did. This man literally stole money from his boss and was like, yeah, I'll give you my wife's payment. I'm sorry, but no one is touching my girlfriend. No one, not a single human is getting mine. No, you don't get it. No, what? In what world does that make sense? Why I would not give you my girlfriend? I wouldn't give you my wife. I don't understand why this was such an easy decision for him. Anyway, the dark part is it's a captor-captive. She is being traded as payment for this debt that he has. It's not exactly tame, but it's also not like the darkest thing that you could possibly read. This one is honestly, it's kind of light in comparison to some of the other books that I've read. So this is a good place to start, especially if you want a short one, you want one you can get into and get out of, you want something that's not going to be overbearingly dark, but also if you want something that's going to be spicy and sapphic. I have one more. It's also gay, and I'm not sorry about it. Let's talk about bully romances, because I feel like bully romances are like the ultimate spot to go to get into dark romance, because like it's not as dark as you think. It's more of just, I mean, it's dark. You kind of got to be on page with them being mean to each other. If you grew up with that idea of they're being mean to me because they like me, this might work for you. This is Tristix Venom by Penelope Douglas. These 2 girls fucking hate each other. Oh my god, they hate each other. One is from the wrong side of the tracks. The other one is like the most popular girl in school. They're both on the lacrosse team. Literally, one hates the other one because of who knows what reason. We actually know what reason, but it's at the end of the book, so I'm not gonna tell you. They are cruel to each other. I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you that. They are absolutely cruel. Just go read it. Thank me later and just go read it. I just think if you're gonna go into a bully romance, just know how dark they are. They can get dark within like how the characters behave between each other. Do I think it's a good place to start for dark romance? Yes. I kind of feel like in general you can't get into dark romance without just ripping the band-aid off. You have to know what you're comfortable with. You have to know what your triggers are. But I can't make you a general guide to dark romance without kind of giving you that preface. I can give you books that I think are a good entry point for dark romance, but ultimately you have to know your triggers. You have to know what you're comfortable with. You have to know what can potentially harm you in order to read dark romance, and you really have to like understand that about yourself as a reader. Just diving in, completely head first and with no idea of where you're going is potentially gonna hurt you, because dark romance can contain a lot of things. I have read dark romances with literally almost every single trope. I mean, I've read incest, I've read serial killers, I have read captives, I've read non-con, dub-con, gunplay, knife play. I have read a lot of things, and I just want all of you to be safe whenever you are going into these romances, because I love dark romance. It is my favorite subgenre of romance, and I don't want you to get hurt or be turned off from the genre because you're kind of going in the wrong direction. So if you have a specific book that you want, you have a specific idea, you kind of want a very tailored recommendation of where to start with dark romance, just send me a message. I will try to help you as best as I can, but just let me know. I will try as best as I can to lead you all where you need to go. If you're still watching, please leave me a spider emoji down in the comments, and I will chat with you in the next one. Bye, everyone.
Don't you wanna have fun? Don't you wanna have some fun?
Yeah, his baby said that they don't got a future like